critique. Today we are talking about Brownie Batter from the Saavy Uncensored line. If you're not familiar with this stuff, it is Verano's value line. They describe it as a flower in its raw form, small, roughly trimmed buds, sugar leaves and foliage will be along for the ride with Saavy Uncensored, preserving those precious trichomes until your smoking, vaping, or infusing session. More sizes, more formats, and even more savings. It's what Saavy's all about. And let me tell you, they're also all about some other stuff that we'll get into in this review. But before we get into all of that, big shout out to our Patreon supporters. Massive shout out to the 2A Van Man, Baker Man, Scott the Bartender, and Tim, our dank dudes. And shout out to Markeisha, our high achiever on the Patreon page. Now let's get into the breakdown of this Saavy Uncensored Brownie Batter. Tested in at 18.6% THC. Unfortunately, this stuff has a little bit of age on it, and I can see why people probably avoid this line. The looks on this stuff were terrible. Very, very bad. They check all the boxes for bad bud on this one. These are very small buds, very, very larfy and stemmy, and they describe them as untrimmed flower, which I did not experience in this batch whatsoever. When I looked closely at these buds, first off, very dark green in color, just overall looked very low quality, and had a ton of scarring from machine trimming. You could see where these buds had been run through a machine trimmer and had some scarring on them from that. So I thought that was very, very weird for an uncensored line to be trimmed anyway. And I also find it weird that they have an uncensored line that they say is full of small buds. I feel like if you're getting untrimmed bud, it should be bigger. But I guess that's too much to ask for. The looks, 4.5 out of 10. The smell here had basically no smell. You get that hay type of aroma that you get from a very old bud. Just kind of smells like old grass or something like that. Nothing too positive to say about the smell. 5 out of 10. Breakdown here, again, I think this had a lot to do with the age, but also this stuff was just completely full of stems. Broke down basically into dust. It was very, very, very dry overall. So I gave it a 6.5 out of 10 in the breakdown. Taste here was, I describe as bitter and painful. That's about all you can say about this stuff. I'm not picking up any notes of brownie or any sort of sweetness on this one. 4 out of 10 in the taste department. High here, very, very mild and like an indica type of high. You get a little bit relaxed, and honestly, you feel a little bit run down from this stuff. You get that type of feeling from a lower quality bud. At least I do a lot of the time. So 7.5 out of 10 in the high. That's about the only good thing that this stuff did. It got the job done in a pinch. So overall, I would describe this Saavy Uncensored line as one to avoid. Don't get scammed, basically, like I did. Don't get burned and pass on this Saavy Uncensored line. I feel like it's a complete lie in the marketing. They're like, oh, it's untrimmed bud. So you feel like you're gonna get like big old buds like you would from like a home grower, but no, you're gonna get small larfy buds that have been run through a machine trimmer, and that's something that nobody wants. So just never pick up this Saavy Uncensored line. I won't be picking it up again. Shame on you, Verano, for releasing this stuff. 5.5 out of 10 for this Brownie Batter from the Saavy Uncensored line. And if you enjoyed this cannabis critique, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe for more.